Hi, everybody, and welcome to this Google Hangout with the topic, are you too much for this world? Well, I was looking so much forward to this particular hangout with this topic, are you too much for this world? Not only because I have been having a lot of people lately with that particular question in their world, and mostly with actually the judgment of I'm not willing to be too much for this world, and also because this is something that's very present in my world lately, of what it actually creates in the world and what it brings up in people's worlds when being too much. So I am happy to invite you to hey, what's possible with this thing of this point of view of being too much, and what's up with that. So one of the things that I realized lately is, wow, does the world have way more judgments than I was willing to know. And I always know that the world has a lot of judgments, but the level of judgments that are real in this world is just, wow, incredible. And obviously this question of, are you willing to be too much? Like, obviously being willing to be like being too much, like this too much, is obviously a judgment, right? You have noticed that. So the question is, are you willing to be too much, is actually the question of, are you willing to be judged of being too much for this world? So I'm just starting out with that question for you guys of, and you notice the intensity in my world, because it's like, if you're willing to be too much, if you're willing to be judged as being too much, it requires you to be an intensity that people would go, oh, dear one, calm down, relax, you're being too much, you're being too intense. Or maybe you have in your world, you're too happy, or you too rich, or you too successful, whatever it is. So whatever it is that you are too la 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 of, what if this hangout can be an invitation for you to be that, and to be willing to receive the judgments that come with that? Because any judgment you're making real of you're too much, you're too happy, you're too rich, you're too loud, you're too whatever, is, if you're making that judgment real and relevant for you, it keeps you from being you. It keeps you from being the intensity, the happiness, the joy, the everything you are naturally, what you normally are, and the very thing that is what's required to change what you would like to change in your world. So I'm going to use the Access Consciousness Clearing sentence here, which is, let's just use it in action. So everything you've decided that's too much with you and about you, everywhere you've decided you're too, like, you can't be too happy, you can't be too loud, you can't be too intense, you can't be too rich, you can't be too successful, everything you've decided you can't be too much of, everything that is, and all the judgments and conclusions that come with that, will you please, times a godzillion, which is a number that's bigger than God, destroy and uncreate it? Because if you create it, you can also uncreate it. Okay, you just have to say yes, if you're willing to let it go. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. I'm not going to explain this weird stuff I just said. It's basically just you can use it as a magic wand to undo the limitations you've made real about this particular subject, okay? And explanation about this blah blah pot, pock stuff, the Access Consciousness Clearing sentence, you find on the YouTube channel under Dr. Dane here, or Dane here, Access Consciousness Clearing sentence. And that's where you have the explanation. But that's not going to be something I go and explain now. I actually want to use it in action, because I am on fire. Like, since this stuff came up in my world, and actually it's not a stuff that came up, it's a choice I made of, okay, world, here I am. I'm actually choosing to create the reality I came here to create. And what that brings or comes with is the willingness to be too much. So where do I start? It's like this. Have you ever noticed that there's a certain level of being you're allowed to be, but not more than that in the world we live in? Like the world we live in is dedicated to be normal, be average, be real, be the same as everybody else, but don't go above that. Don't be more than that. And if you're more than that, you shall be judged. And you shall be judged so much that you just, takes away all the joy in being. Because if you're being too much, you shall be alone. Nobody will like you. So everything that is, all the lies you've been buying of what happens when you're too much for this world, all the stupidities you've been buying of, you will be thrown into the exile, you will be left alone, nobody will like you, everybody will hate you. Everything that is, and everything that you bought about that is keeping you from being way too much, that will actually change your world and that world. Everything that is times a godzillion, will you please destroy and uncreate it? Thank you. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And if you think I talk too fast, get over it. And I'm actually not kidding. Like really, I know I talk too fast and I have fun doing this. So if this is too much for you in one time, no problem. Enjoy it now. Don't try to like get it cognitively. Just let it allow you, like just receive it, let it go through you. Listen with your being, not your brain. And if your brain wants to get what I just said, listen to the replay over and over again, because your brain will get it when you listen to it again and again. And your brain will get it. Never mind. Just allow your being to receive this right now and allow this to change your world. So I know this is for free. What if you can receive it anyway? We're all used to, oh, as long as I pay a lot of money, I can receive it. What if this is actually my gift to you that you can actually receive of being way too much, and what this actually will create in your world? So again, all the lies you've been buying of what will happen if you're too happy, too rich, too much, too loud, too beautiful, too whatever. Yeah, everything that is, everything you've decided will happen, all the lies you've been buying, what that means, will you please destroy and create it times a godzillion? Thank you. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and yawns. It's like, remember when you were a kid and the awareness you had then of what you knew was possible for our world, for this world, and also for your world. Like, remember the times when you went, wow, maybe creating money isn't that hard as everybody pretends it should be, like really pretends it should be. Maybe being happy is really a possibility. Maybe changing your body is not that difficult. Maybe you did it when you were a kid. Maybe you had an awareness or a dream about what's possible. And then maybe you told somebody about it, or you showed them, and they were showing you or telling you, oh, that's not possible. That's just a dream. That's not realistic. And you started then to cut it off and make it unreal and impossible. Ouch. So everything that is, everything you very, very early on in your life cut off as a possibility, as an awareness, because it was, just judged as just a dream, rather than an awareness of a possibility you can create as your reality, as your life, as your future. Everything that is times a godzillion, will you please destroy and uncreate it? Thank you. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. What if your dream and a dream you have in your world that's actually a possibility is something that our world requires? And what if it's something our world right now very desperately requires? What if you undust it and revive it and revitalize it and allow this to actually be something that might be too much for this world, but not enough for yours, and just the beginning? And everything that doesn't allow that times a godzillion, will you please destroy and create it? Thank you. Whew, right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shoots, boys and beyonds. Wow. So I know that, when you have that request in your world, maybe from an intensity of, like maybe you say, I've lived so many years in this world, at least in this lifetime. And every time I stepped up to being more of me, I was judged for being too much or being too cold, being too immoral, being too happy, being too free. And mostly I think a lot of it is about being too free and being unstoppable. And you heard or were aware of those judgments around you, and at some point made them more valuable and gave those points of views and those judgments more credence than the awareness and the possibility of being you, which probably with a very big chance will be too much for this world. Because this world has a very limited point of view of what's possible. It's like there's a certain level of joy you can achieve, so you maintain your normality. There's a certain level of being wealthy of possibilities, wealthy of money. There's a certain level of success that's normal. So there are certain levels of everything that you can achieve where you still maintain normality. If you go beyond them, you're probably judged as unrealistic, too much, insane, perverted, cold, immoral, whatever. There are going to probably be a lot of judgments when you go beyond that level of what's normal. And it's actually upon you. It's your choice to go, okay, am I going to continue to making those judgments real? Am I going to give those judgments credence? Or am I actually going to choose to know what I know? Am I actually going to choose to be willing to be judged as being too much and just go have fun with this and go on and being that anyway? And I personally had a lot of situations and moments lately, just when I had this request in my universe not long ago of being willing to be everything that I be and being willing to step up to a level of being and creating that I haven't been willing before. And just as I started to be that, there were also people showing up that were having points of view about that, thinking that this is not okay, too much, too whatever. And I, for myself, had to very, very actively choose to not give that credence anymore in my world and go, wait a second, is that actually a compliment that they're giving me? Because what I realized is I have the choice to go and make those judgments relevant, or I can go, wait a second, what if everything that shows up in my world is actually a contribution to me being more of me? So what if everything that shows up in your world, even the people that just judge you or hate you or just want to stop you, what if even those people are a gift and a contribution to your world that you haven't acknowledged? Okay, so everything you've judged out of your world that is actually a gift from the universe, even the most judgmental people, that were actually here to contribute to you stepping up more and more and more. There's a fly coming whoop, in the picture. So where those people actually were sent from the universe or a gift from the universe to contribute to you becoming more, and you were going, oh my God, these people judge me so much. It means I can't be more. See, here we go again. Everything that is, everywhere you've judged it out of existence, rather than receiving those people as a gift for you to choose to be more. Everything that is, will you please destroy and create it times a godzillion? Thank you. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. So one of the most amazing things that, I found amazing that I realized was that everything is a contribution. Everybody's a contribution, even the people who vilify me, even the people who judge me. And where I realized if I don't separate from that anymore, I can actually receive these people as an amazing contribution for me to go, oh, you judge me as being too whatever. Thank you for the compliment. mission completed, and now what else is possible? What if the people that hate you and vilify you and judge you when you're stepping up and being more are actually an enormous contribution and a compliment for you that you could receive and ask, okay, what else can I be that I haven't allowed myself to be? So everything that brings up, everywhere you haven't been willing to receive, the people who seem like the people who vilify you, the people who judge you, everybody you've not been willing to receive them as a gift, as a contribution, to be more and to receive more, will you please destroy and create it times a godzillion? Thank you. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So what would be possible in your world if you would be willing to be what this world calls too much? What freedom would you have that you're not supposed to have? So what freedom would you have? What space would you have? What possibilities would you have that you're not supposed to have? Because have you noticed that judgments are just designed to judge you, to stop you? Judgments are just designed to make you not be what you could be if you chose it. Judgments are just designed to invalidate everything you came here to be and everything you came here to inspire others and yourself to be. So everything that is and everything doesn't allow that, will you please destroy and create it times a godzillion? Thank you. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So how much energy are you using to make sure people like you and love you and support you and just have, if they have judgments of you, just have positive judgments of you? Wow. And like, have you ever noticed how much energy that takes, and how little freedom and possibilities this gives you? It's like, if you have the point of view that everything, like, that it's just that you're just going to receive when people like you, what does this actually require you to do? Well, you constantly have to be in everybody else's head. You have to be in everybody else's world and go, okay, if I make this choice, if I say this out loud, will this person like this? What will their reaction be? What will this create? You will constantly have to compute and think and be in other people's worlds to make sure that people like you or judge you in a positive way. And that gives you how much freedom? Not much. So what if it doesn't matter anymore? What if it's not relevant anymore? What other people think of you, and you were just being willing to be everything you are? And what if it's not anymore about how you are seen, but actually what you can be? What if it's not anymore about how others see you and how you're received, but what you can actually be? Everything doesn't allow that times a godzillion, will you please destroy and create it? Thank you. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So what if you were willing to actually have people in your world that hate you and don't like you? And what if this is actually not a problem anymore? What if, like, let me say something really strange now that I found the past days and actually week. What if even people hating you could be a source of joy for you? I know this sounds really weird, and it's like, what? And logically, it doesn't make sense at all. And I have no idea how to explain it because it doesn't make logical sense. But what I found in my world is, like, lately when people judge me and say, I literally had somebody lately tell me that it's inappropriate how happy I am, which I found really funny. I'm like, wow, this person is really creative in their judgments. Wow, way to go. I mean, the creativity people have in their judgments it's pretty wow. And I found this so funny and entertaining that it just made me laugh. And I realized, wow, even insane judgments like that could be a source of joy if you choose it. And so, like, I'm just trying to find a way of make this more clear to you. So when I speak about this, what I just realize is, if you have people judge you and vilify you as you be more and show up as you and just like be more, allow yourself to be as rich as you would like to be, allow yourself to be as successful as you would like to be, because that's actually a choice you need to make. It's an allowance you give yourself. I mean, you have so much allowance for other people, but what if you actually expand that allowance also to you? And what if you go, okay, what's it gonna take for me to allow myself to be as rich, as successful, as happy, and whatever else you would like to be, no matter what other people think? And probably when you step into this, there's a chance that people might judge you as being whatever they have chosen or have decided this means. And what if it's not relevant? And what I realized, like when I said every judgment could be a source of joy for you, is actually this thing of where you don't defend against or for what other people think of you, or what you have decided is real about being whatever you would like to be. Okay, so having no barriers up, and not defending against other people's points of view. Because you know what you tend to do when other people judge you? Have you noticed that when somebody says you are blah blah blah, right? What do you usually do? Well, you put up your barriers. You go, no, I'm not that, you stupid something. Or you go, oh, maybe they're right, maybe I am that. You either agree and align to it, or you resist and react to it. Either way, you make what they just said and judged you for real, and it doesn't give you freedom at all. And it keeps you small within their worlds rather than stepping up and being everything you are. So all the choices this reality gives you is either agree and align and say, maybe they're right, I am a pile of poo. Or you resist and react and say, you don't get to say that to me, you stupid, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So these are the only choices this reality has given us. What if this is not your only choice? What if you could go, wow, you think I'm inappropriately happy? Oh, so cute. Thank you for that point of view. Thanks for sharing. Too funny, too cute. Thanks for the compliment. And in the face of judgment, guess what? Turn it up, okay? In the face of judgment, turn it up. More of whatever you are not supposed to be, that is truly you. More and more and more of that. And there's a level of, what I realized is, when you don't try to, I think the word in English is acquiesce. Let me find another word that I actually know. When you don't try to make what other people judge you as real, when you don't try to adapt to it, I think that's a better word. At least I know what it means. At least I know what I'm talking about. That's good, huh? It's so funny doing these hangouts because it seems like you're talking to yourself, but you know you're not. Anyway, story for another time. Willing to be too insane. Yes, Susanna, check. So when you're willing to when you're not acquiescing, we're not adapting to other people's judgments. Because as long as you do that, as long as you go, okay, they think this of me, oh my God, and you make it real, and you agree and align, resist and react, then you're so much on their radar, you're so much in their box that they just keep on judging you. But if you don't make that real anymore, if you just go in the face of judgment, I'm going to turn it up, baby. I'm going to be more of what I'm not supposed to be. That's so much fun for me to be, that makes it worth being here on this planet. Then there's so much you're being that other people can't keep up. They just can't keep up judging you anymore. You're just like too fast in your being. You're too much in your being that there's a certain level where it just go, okay, never mind. And you're not on their radar anymore, and they can't find you anymore, and they can't judge you anymore. So that's the whole story. That's the whole possibility within the face of judgment. Turn it up. Don't turn it down. Okay, because there's a level of being where other people just go, oh my God, that's just, and like, it's too much, it's too challenging, and you're so intensely present and being that it's intimidating. You're being intimidating, and that's where the freedom starts. That's like a big piece, a big possibility of freedom. Being willing to be so much that you actually also either not, like people can't keep up with you and you're not seen, or you're intimidating people. Everywhere you're not willing to be too much and actually scare people with your being. Everywhere you're not willing to have people run away from you because you're just way too much and way too weird and way too insane and way too happy. Will you please destroy and uncreate it times a godzillion? Thank you. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and yawns. And one question you can ask yourself is, what am I actually here for? Am I here to be normal and to fit in? Or am I actually here to be and bring something into this world that has not existed here yet? So everything you know you're here for, that you are pretending not to know, will you please destroy and create it times a godzillion? Thank you. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And also, what if it's not about being received by others anymore, but you being you, whether you are received or not? So, like, just one question comes up, like, whoever could not receive you before this now, or when you were a kid, so whoever could not receive you in the past, that made you give up being you, and wherever you gave those people more credence than you being you, will you please destroy and uncreate it times a godzillion? Thank you. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Wow. So one question I have, I'm not going to make this much longer, this hangout, because I like quickies. So one question I have for you is, do you get, or are you willing to get, how crucial you are for this world? And that the world we live in right now is like, it's not a happy world. And the earth is having a bit of an interesting time right now, keeping on creating itself and sustaining. So I don't know if you've noticed, but we don't really have the luxury anymore to go, oh, everybody else is awesome and I'm not. Like there's not much, we don't have the luxury anymore to keep small and to hold back. Like if you really want to change something in the world, let me just give you a little hint. Now is the time. Like, please don't wait anymore. And are you willing to get how crucial you are for this world, how vital you are for the sustainability of our planet? And are you willing to actually be too much? I mean, are you willing to be so much that you're judged for being too much? And just go, thank you for the compliment. And now I'm going to be even more. Whatever it takes to have fun, to create the world you would like to create the future we would like to create, and to create our planet so it can actually sustain. Everything that brings up, and everything doesn't allow that times a godzillion, will you please destroy and create it? Thank you. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and yawns. And what if the things that you judged in your world being insane about you, what if this is actually the sanity that changes our world? What if your insanity is the sanity that changes our world? So whatever this world judges as insane, insanely happy, insanely free, insanely uncontrollable, insanely whatever, maybe you have some insanity in your world. And what if everything is the opposite of what it appears to be, and nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be? And what if this is exactly the sanity that this world requires to create what we all came here to create? Everything that is, and everything doesn't allow that, will you please destroy and create it? Thank you. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and yawns. And I know this particular topic brings up quite much for most people, this being willing to be too much. And I would invite you to keep on supporting each other, like not only you, but supporting each other, and also being willing to receive the contribution of support from others. And I just had this idea of giving you a platform for this. I have a Facebook group that is commercial free, that is just for exchanging. It's called "What If Your Only Problem Is That Life Is Too Easy?" It's actually a Pragmatic Psychology Facebook group. I'm going to post a link under, and feel free to join it and exchange ideas and questions. And hey, like, I would like to be more of me. You can ask for clearings, you can ask for questions, you can share your, oh, this is coming up for me, or hey, I've been willing to be too much. How cool is that? Or whatever it is. And just an invitation. Maybe this is a contribution to you guys to contribute to each other and receive contribution of being willing to be too much. Because, this world needs us. This world needs us crazy people that are willing to be everything we are, even if it's judged. And you know what? It takes a big portion of courage to be willing to be so much. Have you noticed, like, how courageous are you to be willing to receive judgments that are supposed to be the worst thing ever in this world, like judgments, oh my God, but maybe it's not so terrible. So how much courage do you have that you haven't acknowledged? Everything that is, will you please destroy and create it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and yawns. And what if you were willing to acknowledge you in a way you haven't acknowledged you? And what if yours? I feel like the biggest pile of poo. Will you please show me? Will you please show me ways of acknowledging me? And will you please show me, will you please find ways of where I be acknowledged for the being I be? Because we all need that. Not many of us have been acknowledged for the brilliance we are growing up. Not many. Some people have been fortunate. Not many have. So what if you ask for, hey, universe, earth, show me ways of being acknowledged for the brilliance that I be? And everything doesn't allow that. Will you please destroy and create it? Thank you. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and yawns. So I hope this was a contribution to you. I'm happy for your feedback, and whether to do more hangouts. Just let me know if this is a gift, a contribution to you, and feel free to share it to your friends, whoever needs it, or your enemies, or whoever. And have fun being you in the world, and have fun being way too much. And ciao, bye.